Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. So yesterday you spent some time just in review and hopefully you were able to create a Quizlet set of flashcards for yourselves and you were able to do some review with those and get as familiar as possible with those 19 terms that I provided for you in Google Classroom. Today is the day of our quiz. And I showed you yesterday that our quiz is going to be a Google Forms quiz. And I also told you that you would not be able to use the sheet that was in Classroom, that terms sheet. So please be sure that you're following those directions. It doesn't help you if you end up using the sheet just because I'm not there. So be sure that you have put that sheet away. Any of your notes are put away, and you're ready to go for the quiz. So when you take this quiz, a couple of things that you should know. First of all, like I said yesterday, do your best with spelling. I know you can't see the terms, and some of them are a little bit weird to spell. So just do your best with that, and that'll be good enough because, again, if something is marked wrong because of spelling, I will see that. I will make the change if it's a close enough spelling. If you try to spell peninsula with a G and an R and a Q or something, well, that's a little bit different. Please note, I created a answer key. So every time you put in an answer, it will check if you got it correct. I don't think it'll check until you submit the quiz at the end. But it makes it a little bit easier for me when correcting. So please don't use any capital letters. Use only lowercase letters. I used only lowercase letters in the answer key. And when Google checks through the words that you put, if you capitalize something, it actually says it's spelled wrong because I didn't capitalize it in the answer key. I think that's a little goofy, but it did that, so what do you do? So please only use lowercase letters. Finally, you are only able to submit one quiz. Tomorrow we will talk about grading, how the grading system works, and all that type of stuff, how that looks in PowerSchool. But for today, you will only be able to take it once. We'll talk about redos and retakes. Those are always going to be things you can do, but you will only be able to take this quiz once. If you need to retake it later, we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right. Now, one more thing I wanted to go through with you is ahead of time how this quiz will be graded. Now, tomorrow, like I said, we're going to talk about general grading stuff. Because you'll be able to see things in PowerSchool. But today I want to show you the grading system for this quiz. So here we go on a little whiteboard. And I'm just going to put it right up here. You see my email down there just in case you've never had it, which I think all of you do. You can get that through Google Chat or just a regular email if you need to. So every time we have an assignment, whether it's a quiz, a test, a project, anything, there will always be four points that are possible. And here's how it works. Make as much room as I can. All right, so you got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Every assignment, every test, every quiz will have this. For this one, remember, our target, the thing that we're looking at is I'll put the 4 down here. So you are trying to identify and define major physical geography terms. So, to get a 4, the wording is, put that there. to get a 4, which is the highest possible thing, and that's going to be equal in the gradebook. That's going to be equal to 100%. All right, so to get a 4, you need to complete and I'm using the word unquestioned, so there's no doubt. Complete and unquestioned mastery of the terms. So if you can identify, there we go. If you can identify all of the terms, and there's no doubt that you got all of them. For example, if you like say, "Oh, I just mixed those up," that happens, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but now it's no longer unquestioned. So complete and unquestioned mastery of these terms will get you 4 points, and that goes in the gradebook as a 100%. For a 3, we're calling that a basic understanding of this target. So 4 is complete and unquestioned mastery of your ability to identify and define major physical geography terms. To get a 3, now you have a basic understanding of how to identify and define major physical geography terms. For a 2, you have a beginning understanding of those major physical geography terms. That means that you can get some of them, but you need quite a bit of help still with a number of those terms. You're getting there, but you're not yet to the level of a basic understanding. To get a basic understanding, you might still have some that are incorrect on the quiz, but for the most part, those ones that are incorrect are, oh, there's 2 that are really similar, and you switch them around. Or you saw this thing and you called it a word that is like the term, but isn't the term that we were looking for. Hopefully that makes some sense, and I think it will as the year keeps progressing. Okay, so that's a 2, and then a 1 is that right now you cannot identify and define major physical geography terms. That doesn't mean that you're horrible, and that doesn't mean that you're a terrible student. What it means is we just know right now you can't do this. And that's okay, because if we know that you can't do it, now we know we need to do some practice so that you can start building up to the next levels. And this is something we'll talk about tomorrow when we go through a little bit more grading stuff. So just so you're aware, a 4 goes in as a 100%, a 3 goes into the gradebook as a 90%, a 2 goes into the gradebook as a 75%, and a 1 goes into the gradebook as a 60%. All right. Now, just because there's a grade attached to it doesn't mean that you should change really what you do. We always want you to do the best that you possibly can, whether there's a grade or not. We just need to be able to assess where you are at. I would prefer to just do the 4, 3, 2, 1 and not put a % in there. But because of the way grade books work, we have to put a % in there. Otherwise, a 3 out of 4 is going to be a really bad grade for you, and we'll talk about that again tomorrow. So, knowing all that, you're ready to take the quiz. And so all you're going to do today is in Classroom, after watching this video, you are going to just click where it says Physical Geography Terms Quiz, and open that up in Google Forms. As soon as you open it up, your Chromebook will be locked. So what that means is you will not be able to switch tabs, you will not be able to change windows or anything else like that. It will be locked. Just so you're aware, if you start the quiz and then quit without finishing the quiz, and then start it again later, I do get an email from Google Forms that says that you did that. So please don't do that. That would be just like getting the quiz in a classroom, saying, nope, I'm not ready for it actually, and then give it back to me, and then do like more study. So you wouldn't be allowed to do that in a classroom. You're not allowed to do that at home as you're taking this quiz either. So click to start the quiz and you'll be locked into it, and then you can finish it out, submit it. Once you're done with your quiz, you are done with class for today. All right, happy quizzing.